I'm trying something a little bit different at the beginning of this video. I had recorded a whole bunch of B-reel stuff of me just prepping and painting this uh, this model, and then when I went to go watch it, I realized that it was just a whole bunch of silence. So instead of boring you with gods, how many minutes was it? Like 18 plus minutes of just spray painting, I decided to go ahead and compress it down as fast as I could, which I believe is like a 4 times faster is the fastest compression I can do on this Movie Studio 17. And now I'm doing a voiceover on it. And I just wanted to let everybody know the type of primer that I was using was Vallejo Black 73.602, and that's what I'm painting everything with right there. Just trying to make sure that we get a good, you know, a good base coat for everything to stick to. And you noticed at one point there, I pulled out the bridge because I realized that I had not put the photo etch on the back of the bridge, and I needed to do that before I could hit it with the primer. So as soon as I get done with the primer here, it should, oh, there we go. All right, I'm pulling out the photo etch and finding the one that I want. One thing I'd like to point out, this old kitchen table that I use, one of the great things about it is that white portion there is actually tile. So they always tell you to cut out the photo etch on like either a piece of glass or a piece of tile, and I'm just fortunate that the entire top of this old kitchen table is tile, so I can use that to cut out the photo etch. Right now I'm loading the photo etch up into a pair of tweezers so I could go ahead and use just that little bit of sandpaper to take off the nibs that were left over from where I broke it loose from the, I guess, the photo etch sprue. Is that still called a sprue? I don't know. But anyway, so I was hitting all the spots and making sure that it was done correctly there so I wouldn't have the little bits sticking out. And then once I'm okay with that, there's the bridge. And here's me going to be using way too much super glue. Way too much super glue. And this is the reason I suggest you always have something like some some toothpicks or bamboo sticks or something laying around, and that way I could sop up that extra, get all that extra super glue off there, or CA glue. And once I put that on there, made sure it was nice and set, and let it set up. After I let it set up for a minute, one of the problems is there was still some edge, some lip around there, so I grabbed the Vallejo plastic putty, and I use the Vallejo plastic putty. This is the one thing that it's actually good for, is to fill in just the little bitty areas like that. And any excess, you can just take a cotton swab with some water on it and just go ahead and rub off that excess, and then let it set up. And that's my speed run. What I'm doing right now is I'm finishing off doing the lighting. Well, I should say just soldering up the first 5 lighting that of these SMDs that I have. They're little 3-volt, 0.5 watts, 150 milliamp lights that I got that are super bright. Matter of fact, let me see if I can really quick show you how bright they are. And I'm using magnet wire on them, so they won't take up that much space, and especially when it comes to running the COBs into the, see, that's how bright that is. Is that showing up? Hold on. Yeah. And when I run the COBs up through these, yeah, when I run the COBs up through here, the magnet wire won't take up that much space. They'll be a lot easier to run. So I have 4 of those done, and I've got the 5th one here to do. And ooh, my fingernails is all grody and stiff. But the thing to remember with this light is, I don't know if you can see here. Let me see. Am I getting close? Can it see? Nope, can't see. Just doesn't have the magnification for that. Anyways, there's an extra little double line mark right on the yellow, and that goes to the negative side. And I have red wire, and I have red wire, and I have like nude blondish wire and red wire. So I run the red to the hot and the not red to the not, and just let that do its business. Now the thing is, what you need to start off doing is, sorry, I've been working lots of stuff, and so everything's all cluttered and all kinds of crap. So you take your soldering iron, tin your tip, make sure it's all cleaned off, and I get my head in here, but I got to get in to take a look. And right here on the back where the metal is, I'm just going to be touching it and tinning that up a little bit on both sides. I don't know. Can you see it over here? I don't know. There's a little bit of tinning on it. All right. Now, get my glasses back on. Got the red wire. I'm just going to, in the process of this this magnet wire has enamel on the outside of it. It doesn't have like your standard, insulation. It's been enameled. So I just touch it like that, melt that enamel off, then get it tinned up some. And for those who don't know, tinning is where you pre-put solder on something before they're even connected. Now, let's see if we can do this on the camera. Just touch there, touch your wire to heat it up, and where you've tinned it, it should go ahead and stick. Now let's go ahead and do that with the other side as well. And I'm making these wires super duper long because, as we all know, you can always cut more off. You can't really cut it long. You can cut it longer. You can always cut it shorter. So here we got that all tinned up now. Come down here, touchy touch. Oh. Scheisse. I have to get my head in here. Come on, you schmuck. Alright, that should hold. Hopefully I didn't do too much heating on it. That's one thing you have to watch out for. If you heat those little SMDs too much with your soldering iron, all of a sudden they don't like it and they melt and stuff. And, that silly thing stuff does when it's heated. And this other end, I'm going to tin this out so we can check the connection. So, hold on. Clean that off. Get a little bit more solder on there. And okay, that's soldered up. Then we come over here to our negative side. Yeah, try to cut them the same length. And hit it with the soldering iron. Get it all tinned up. Now, if I put them on correctly, I'll put one side to hot, one side to not, and we should light up. All right, that was number 5. Now those, I'm going to run on the bottom here. I'm going to bring it up through the neck. I'm going to put at least 1, 2, 3, 4, and I might put a 5th one down in the actual body to light up this arboretum that I'm working on. We do another coat of paint on this. I don't think I'm going to do the shuttle bay. I just don't have the guts for that right now. I'm not feeling confident in it. So I'm going to try putting in the arboretum, and I just need to do a little bit more painting on that today, and then I'll cut it out once it dries. And I'm also going to start drilling the windows in. That's going to be the next step, is drilling in my windows. So, fun. Just wanted everybody to know what I'm doing here. Right here I have attached the photo etch to drill out the windows onto the back of the saucer section. There's 3 different ones. Is there 3? Yeah, 3. 5, 6, and 7. Can you see that from here? Yeah, okay. 5, 6, and 7. And I have 7 on, and I have 6 on, and I have 5 right here. And 5 is going to go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places around. And basically what you're doing, these photo etch, the ones for the windows, after you get them out, and I've used these ones before. You're not supposed to do that, but I did. You'll see that you have these little, I don't know if you can see them, these little nibs up and down here. And then you have an arrow pointing which direction's up. And as you're laying these down going around, those little nibs you're going to line up with your panel lines. So we'll go here, and then we'll go here, and on around. And you'll see that I've already done that with this one here. I've got that lined up going right there, and also this one lined up right there. Now you want to try as much as possible, one, of course, have them level, but also to get them right in the middle. That way they look right. And I just tape them down with a little bit of Tamiya tape, masking tape. And to drill them out, you need 0.5 mil drill bits. My suggestion to you, purchase a set of them. They're cheap. I get them off of AliExpress. I think it was just like, less than $10 for 10 of them. And I think it was like $5 for 10 of them. But the thing is these things break so easy. I mean, literally, you breathe wrong and these things are breaking. And as you can see, I've already broken almost half of them. And so just buy yourself a good set, because if you're just relying on 1 or 2 of them, you're going to fall short. And I go ahead and attach that to the Dremel, and I'll just do one really quick so you can see what I'm doing. Not the whole thing, just like one hole. And oops, it's hard to do with the, I guess I'll do a couple holes. It's hard to do with this far away so it's on camera. But that's, oops. And those are those windows done. Now I need to go around and do the rest. And you gotta be careful, because this thing, if you just let this swing down, it'll break. This is my last painting one that I'm doing before I end this episode, and the next episode will be, well, I guess, the actual painting one. This one is the prep for the paint. I have the new model that we talked about. I've got it all prepped up, silvered and black, did the black out, then the silver. And I put the photo etch window back here. And I've got all the lighting ran for in here. I've got 3 white lights, a blue lamp here that'll go straight up for the impulse crystal, and I've got a red light here that will shine out the back. Let me see what else. I have, let me see here. I have done up the neck, and I put in the photo etched docking ports, and I've got the bottoms and sides and everything all done. I've also got the photo etch on the arboretum, and the way that that's going to go in, you have your two sides. Oh my goodness, what do I do with my other side? Good thing I'm able to pause right now, huh? How can I not see my other side? I got one side here. Oh, because it's upside down. And I've got my other side here. And I went ahead and cut this out so when the arboretum sets in here, the light, I'll put a light in right here and a light here shining up into the neck to light up the windows in the neck. And that way the light here that'll help light up all these windows will also shine down, and through the arboretum windows you'll be able to see in the lights, the top light holes, I guess, will be lit up to light up down in the arboretum. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be next putting this all together and also mounting the windows on, and put this all together. Then I will run the electrical up, and that, I'm running this wire. Don't ask me what gauge it is. I think it's like 22 gauge. That'll come up here, and I cut a little extra space here and there so it'll come up this way and still be able to clip in and come up here and then come over. Oh, actually that's upside down. Apologies. We'll come in like this, come up, and then go over and lay down, and then everything else is going to come in and connect up to the red and black right here. And this, of course, will go down through the stand. And once I get that done, and also on the sides here of this, I need to take my 1mm
my masking tape and mask off the sensor bands going around here. So I'll do that and then assemble. And then it comes down to, I'm going to have this part all assembled and this attached to the saucer, I think. I'm going to go this onto the saucer and then put together all of the engineering hull, the secondary hull, with the pylons also attached in. And, ooh, should I do that first? Or should I paint these and then put down the coloring here? That way it mixes in better. Oh man, I gotta make these decisions. But anyways, I'll have these attached onto the top and the top part down, the top plate on. And then I'll do the nacelles separately. I got these all down so you can't see the lines. And with these, I can put on after I've got all the painting done and all the Aztecing done. I can put these on afterwards because those will just snap right on, and I can cake it in with a lot of the Tulip Slick Black. This stuff is really great for inside for blacking out stuff. It's some of the best for just blacking out and filling up those light leaks. But I'll be able to do that in these areas around here inside, and then be able to run the COBs right here because I'll be able to pull the wires up that I already have run through the pylons. And so that's the next thing is putting on those sensor bands and starting to get some of this done. But this is going to be it for this episode. That way I can put this episode together, put it up, and the next episode will have me pulling that off. I'll put on the base coat of the white, which I'll just be using Tamiya X2 white with some thinner in it, and I'll coat all that with that. Take off the sensor band masking, and then put a a gloss clear coat over everything to protect it before I start masking off for the Aztecing. Way to go.